right, are we ready? I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Waste Reduction District of Monroe County Board of Directors for Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Mr. McGlasson, will you please call the roll?
Piedmont Smith.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Wiltz.
Here.
Jones. Swafford. Thompson.
Here.
Madeira.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you.
Note for the record, no members in attendance virtually.
I was just going to ask. All right, thank you. So we have a couple of executive committee meeting minutes just for your information. Way back on July 29th, we met with the Rocky Mountain Institute to further discuss possibility of solar energy generation at the landfill. And then we had a regular executive committee meeting on August 5th, where the minutes are also included. We did have an executive committee meeting in September, but those minutes are not here yet. We did, right? I think so, yeah. So we include those minutes just for your information. And then we have two sets of minutes for approval. The Board of Director meeting, August 14th, and the executive session, September 9th.
I move approval of two sets of minutes, Board of Director meeting minutes for August 14th, 2025, and the executive session minutes for September 9th, 2025.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have many seconds. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Those are approved. Thank you. Thank you to the staff for all these minutes. Controller's report. Teresa Goins, pass it over to you. Teresa, we cannot hear you. We can't see her either at this point.
Could we please have Teresa Goins allowed to participate in the meeting, please?
Presenter.
There we go. Can you hear me?
There
Yes,
we go.
we can hear you now. Would it be possible to activate the video?
Okay. The cash flow summary is on page 26 of the board packet. Here are the balances as of September 30th for the following accounts. Operating $4,755,120.95. Debt service $17,252.53. Capital is $46,105.82. The individual cash flow statements for each of these are on pages 27 through 31 of your packet, and the operating fund graph is on page 29. The landfill post-closure amount is $817,147.60. This was sent in an email on Wednesday with the updated cash flow summary. Are there any questions on the account balances?
All right, any questions about account balances or cash flow? I have one. In the operating fund cash flow statement, the detailed statement for revenues, there's $54,000 in August under refund/miscellaneous donation. What was that? Was that the payment for the truck?
It was the insurance settlement for the truck.
Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. And then I think I had another question. Oh, yes. So on the same detailed cash flow statement under expenses, the wellness clinic, we've already spent, oh, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already spent more than was budgeted. Do we foresee a problem with that before the end of the year?
No, we'll have the funds in that category to cover that. What happened was the fourth quarter for 2024 payment was missed, and so that's, if you'll see in March, the expense for that was a little over $9,000, which is twice what the other quarterly expenses have been. So, and that's because that was for 2 quarters and not 1.
Okay, I see. All right, thank you for that explanation. Yes, Counselor Wiltz.
Thank you. I have a question on the same table as your first question, which was the revenues. There's one that's year to date, and it's hard to follow along. I think it's metal recycling. The year to date coming in is quite a bit less than what was budgeted. It's 48,491, and then budgeted was 72,500, and it with just 3 months left. Is that is it realistic that that revenue is going to be?
I'm going to ask Mr. Long to address that, who's more familiar with the ebbs and flows of the volume of material that comes into our facilities.
Okay.
Except I don't see him online
Yeah.
yet. So.
I think I'm on now.
He's there.
Can you repeat that? I had somebody in my office talking to me.
No worries. I was just looking at the revenue table, and on, I believe it's metal recycling. It just looks like we haven't had as much come in year to date as might keep up with what's budgeted. And I was curious if, there was an explanation or how.
Yeah, so we run almost like a month behind on getting the checks for them. So we haven't got September's yet, but usually we'll pick up, July, August, September, we get more coming in. Even up to October, then November, December, it slows down again. But I do expect we will hit our goals of what we estimated.
Okay.
I mean, I can't, it's hard to say what the public's bringing in, but usually by the way the calendar goes, the year, we do see an increase at this time of year in the metals.
Okay. We'll just keep an eye on it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Long. Any other questions on cash balances, cash flow? Seeing none, we will go ahead to payroll and claims. Ms. Goins.
On page 32 to 33 of the packet, you will have a summary of a pre-approved payroll and claims since our last meeting in the amount of $359,215.13. The backup for those numbers are on pages 34 through 100. The claims for approval this week were sent in an email on Wednesday are in the amount of $66,045.55. Documentation was included in the Wednesday email. That brings the total of all payroll claims that we are recommending for approval to $425,260.68. Are there any questions regarding these claims?
All right, any questions about payroll and claims?
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve payroll and claims, including the claims process from August 18th to September 29th, and adding the payroll and claims listed for today's date for a total of $425,260.68.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Are there any questions about the payroll and claims? I have one question, just for my education. So in the packet that was sent out yesterday, on the second page, it has just a few very small claims with the vendor name Waste Reduction District PC. What is that?
That's our petty cash fund. We're replenishing our petty cash fund. We keep $100 cash on hand for incidental expenses.
You. And then I did want to ask the next page, on page 3 of the packet that was sent yesterday, the $38,500 charge for Marlin excavating for retention pond cleanout. Is that something we do every year? Or I don't remember that.
About every other year. I'll ask Mr. Polson to get into more detail about that, the frequency of that project.
Hey there. Yeah, right now we've been cleaning that pond about once every 2 years. This is a different way that we've done it because the weed growth was, usually we've tried to do it in-house and work with Bynum Faneuil, but the weed growth and the type of weed that was there was almost too much for their trucks. And the amount of time that we were taking, we were 2.5 weeks in and we were only halfway through the pond. So we contracted RH Marlin. They had a different type of truck, a hydrovac truck that took care of that stuff in a few days, what would have taken us weeks. So we're hoping we only have to do it once every 2 years, but we'll have to wait and see what next summer brings.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Yeah, we had a very wet summer, so.
Yeah, it was different.
All right. Are there any other questions? Else we can go to a vote. Can we do a voice vote on this? Or do we have to do roll call?
With nobody virtual, you can do a voice vote on this.
Okay. So all in favor of approving the payroll and claims, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Those are approved. And let me get back to my agenda. Next item we have is the Phillips Service Corporation Superfund Site Cash Out Settlement Agreement. Mr. McGlasson.
Yeah, so this, something that the board was made aware of, I guess in August, since we didn't meet in September. And it has to do with the facility in South Carolina that accepted material that originated out of our household hazardous waste facility in 1997. That's now has contamination issues and been declared a Superfund site and entered into a consent decree where we've been identified as potentially a responsible party under the CERCLA law. So we've, had previously retained outside counsel that the board has had an opportunity to meet with in executive session and hear their opinion and recommendation. And so out of that meeting, you have resolution 2025-17 for consideration, which would be to accept and enter into the settlement agreement offered by the PRP group, and related to that, should the board elect to enter into that settlement agreement, you have resolution 2025-18, which transfers appropriations from our personnel services category, specifically the health insurance line, into our services and charges category, the legal line, so that we have necessary funds to make the payment on that settlement agreement.
All right, thank you. Can we get a motion on the table for resolution 2025-17?
I move approval for 2025-17 to accept the payment for the Superfund Phillips site.
I second.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Are there any questions?
I'm sorry, who was the second? Thank you.
Madeira. Do we have any questions about this resolution and accepting the cash out settlement?
I just would note for the record that the settlement agreement as presented does absolve the district of any future liability related to this site, with the caveat that should additional records turn up to identify more material originating from our facility, we would pay the same dollar per pound amount as an amendment or an agreement in the event that were to happen. But given the time frame that this has been going on, the people that we have consulted with were pretty confident that if there was additional material, it would have already been identified.
And just to add on to that, that amount would be capped as well.
Sorry?
There's a cap on any additional amounts as well.
Yes.
Right, it seems logical that if they haven't tracked it to us in the last 27 years, they probably won't now. So this $29,312 is probably it. And as Mr. McGlasson said, we did consult legal counsel and we were advised that this is a good settlement. Are there any other questions or comments before we vote?
Just one, I'm sorry, one more quick addition. The resolution not only resolves and approves to accept and enter into the settlement agreement, it does authorize and instruct the executive director and controller to issue the payment necessary to satisfy the settlement agreement.
Good point. Right, if there are no further questions, oh, Councilor Wiltz.
Is that last part 2025-18?
No, 2025-18 is moving the appropriations so that we have the necessary funds in the correct line to satisfy the payment, to make the payment. So.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to the public. Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on Resolution 2025-17? Don't see any hands raised. So I think we're ready for a vote. Mr. McGlasson, will you please call the roll? I think we do need roll calls for resolutions, right?
Certainly. Thompson?
Yes.
Madeira?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Piedmont Smith?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, which means that we do need to consider Resolution 2025-18 to have funds available. So I'll entertain a motion for that.
Move to approve Resolution 2025-18 to move funds to satisfy the previous resolution.
All right, we have a motion on the table in a second. So I think this was explained along with the first one. I'm glad that we have funds available and don't have to ask for an additional appropriation. Any other questions on this resolution? Okay, is there anybody in the public who would like to comment on Resolution 2025-18? All right, seeing none, I think we're ready for a roll call vote.
Thomas?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Piedmont Smith?
Yes.
Madeira?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Next, we will move to an amendment to the district-approved vendor list. Seems like we do this every couple months.
No, we don't like to do it every couple of months, but we do like to have the ability to pay our, regular vendors that we do regular business with expeditiously. So, what really, the precipitous for this particular one was a change in the portalet vendor that we're using at the rural sites to Izzy's Rentals. So we were asking to add Izzy's Rentals as a vendor. Additionally, staff taking the opportunity to request to add 2 additional vendors that we've identified to use for building repair and maintenance at all of our locations. Electric services and next phase contracting.
I
All right,
have a quick
Yes.
question. Electric
Please.
Services is the name of the company? Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-19.
All right, we have a motion on the table to approve the resolution 2025-19. Are there any questions or comments from directors? I will just say that even though my childhood nickname was Izzy, I have nothing to do with a portalette rental company.
It's good Isabel trivia, though.
Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on Resolution 2025-19? Seeing none, I think we're ready for a roll call vote.
Wiltz,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Madeira,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, we have an updated vendor list, which is good because I think I saw Izzy's on one of our claims. Get them paid.
Yep.
All right, next item is an amended agreement for the collective composting program phase 2. And is this, will we hear from Mr. McGlasson first and then?
Yeah, I can certainly, just in discussions with Mr. Winia from One Sustainable Joe, and given the timing of when we're looking at onboarding potential complexes in the program, and the fact that the current agreement does expire at the end of this year, I guess the first change in there, we thought that it was important to provide assurances to those complexes that there would be a transfer of providers in the event that a new agreement was not entered into at all or in a timely fashion for 2025. So, and then there was also, I think One Sustainable Joe had requested that, given the timing of just the entering into this agreement and how things transpired, that we extend that onboarding program. And so that's the second amendment being proposed, is to extend the onboarding program out to November the 19th. And Mr. Winia is here to help address any questions or add any information to the requested changes.
Till November 14th, right?
Yes, no, I'm sorry, yes,
Okay.
November 14th.
Mr. Winia, did you want to add anything?
Yes, thank you. Joseph Winnie here from One Sustainable Joe. One important piece of context that I wanted to provide that's pertinent to this is that for personal reasons, I've actually decided to move out of Bloomington at the start of next year. So I won't actually be present next year to follow through with the program, so that if there are new sites onboarded by this new deadline, then that partner period for those sites would continue into the subsequent year. And that's what warrants the first change to be able to assign those responsibilities in my absence.
All right, thank you for that update, although it's unfortunate news for the district, I think. We've benefited from your services. I guess we need to get a motion on the table about this resolution.
I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-20. Are there any questions for either Mr. McGlasson or Mr. Winia?
Just sorry to hear that you're leaving, and thank you for all that you've done for the district and for environmentally responsible waste reduction in the county. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you for your support and collaboration as well. It has been very mutually and reciprocated, I think.
All right. Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on Resolution 2025-20 to amend the service agreement? Don't see anybody. So we can move to a roll call vote, please, Mr. McGlasson.
Madeira,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, and thank you, Mr. Winia. We'll see you back at the podium in a little bit. Next, we have a resolution to amend the district's fee schedule. Mr. McGlasson?
Yeah, I'm refer you to the memo on page 174 of the packet. This resolution is being presented for introduction. We are required to hold a public hearing after the introduction of the resolution before the board vote on it to implement or change any of our fees. So that's the purpose of having that presented today. Barring objection from the board, we'll proceed with making the notice required for the public hearing and would plan to hold that as a part of the November meeting. We would just need to have it as a separate agenda item and would need to make note during the meeting that we are opening the public hearing to allow for public comment on the proposed changes and then close that public hearing prior to the board taking up the resolution for a vote. Yes, and then as far as what's being proposed, it's a lot. It looks like a lot in there, and would note that aside from a small increase to our copying service fees that have not changed in over 20-some years, the proposed changes are specific to commercially exempt small quantity generators, which are commercial entities that bring materials to our household hazardous waste department, and the Green Business Network clients, which is our Green Business Network, the recycling routes that we run for local businesses. The majority of the fees, the increases are, in my mind, nominal. Some actually slightly decrease. But this is, it's unfortunate that it's something that we need to do. The cost to provide these services has continued to increase. And it's been since at least 2019 since we've made any changes to any of these fees. But again, none of these fees are applicable to county residents. There are no new fees or increased fees from what is currently in place for residential customers that bring materials to us.
All right, so we need to just introduce this resolution today, and then
We will make the required notice that we'll have a public hearing on it at the next board meeting and have the hearing, and would ask the board consider the resolution for a vote after the public hearing.
Okay, so is there a motion to introduce?
I move introduction of the amended fee schedule 2025-21.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to introduce this resolution. Are there any questions? We won't vote on it today, but are there any questions for Mr. McGlasson at this point? Yes, Councillor Wiltz.
You can count on me. Could you talk a little bit about how you came to the changes in the ones you did change?
So yeah, I guess if you can make sense of the red line version that's that's in the packet, previously for the majority of these fees, there was kind of a formula in place that had to do with the direct disposal cost of the district plus a 10% handling fee, and one for batteries and one for all other materials. And it just as as our labor costs have increased along with the service costs, that formula became difficult to work with, I guess, in essence. What we really have tried to do here is minimize the impact of labor, look specifically at what we're paying for these items or these materials to be properly managed, whether that be recycled or disposed of through the vendors that we use, and pass that fee along. It's not an attempt to make money, to profit off of any of this. Those fees are some are a little higher, some are a little lower, but they are in line with what our actual cost to the vendor is to move those materials along to be properly managed.
Thank you.
I had a question. So the table on page 179, the CESQG and universal waste prices. So all of those only apply to the CESQG? Does the public have to pay for any of these things?
Well, for latex paint, we do have fees to the public for latex paint, other than Mr. Long can jump in here, but I think other than that, that's on that list. I mean, we do have display electronics, TVs, computer monitors, laptops. There's a fee to residents on. Latex paint, I think, is the only other thing that we have fees for residential customers.
Yeah, latex paint and computer monitors and TVs is the only thing that we charge residents for in Monroe County. The latex paint is considered non-hazardous, so there's other ways of doing it that most counties recommend doing. So, we try to tell them how to dry it up and dispose of it for free. If they just don't want to mess with it, then we pay that fee to get rid of it.
Okay, and that fee is the one listed under paint and flammables?
Yeah, the 2, 5, and 20, we actually pay a little bit more than that, but we cut them a break because they are Monroe County residents.
And that would mean for the CESQG customers, the type of paint is irrelevant. We charge for all types of paint on CESQGs, but for residential customers, only latex paint would have a fee because, as Mr. Long indicated, it's not considered a hazardous material once it's not liquid, and there are other ways to manage it that we encourage the residents to follow those procedures.
Okay, so there is a potential impact on residential customers as far as the increased costs.
Yes, for latex paint there would be, but again, there's ways to avoid paying that fee if they want to deal with drying it out and disposing of it on their own through their normal trash service.
Gotcha.
I just think it would be clearer, because we're dealing with costs and prices, to not try to do red line versions with this, to do a current fee, proposed fee.
And that,
that would be helpful.
It's not easy to follow.
it is included in the clean version is included in the resolution beginning on page 182.
Right, but then that doesn't have the current pricing.
Yeah, could we have for next time a table? Like, here's the item, here's the current, and here's the new price?
Certainly.
And an asterisk next to anything that a household might have to pay?
Don't like this?
No, because these numbers are very hard to read with the line out, with the red line version. It's hard to do numbers with a red line version on a document.
When did this?
And follow what it is. Was that 25 and it's now 50? Is it $7? Is it $7.50? What changed? So.
No, I understand.
Just for clarity.
I like this version.
Well, you got it.
But we'll all get what we want.
We can provide a side-by-side comparison of old
just for clarity,
proposed.
for the public.
Or current and proposed, yes, that's not a problem.
Thank you. And if there are small typographical errors, can those still be corrected?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd find some.
Yeah. We usually don't vote on something, to put something on an agenda, so this is unusual anyway, so.
Right, right. I didn't know if we, by introducing it, it was set in stone or not, but I'm glad it's not. Yes, Councillor Wells.
So between now and the public hearing, which I'm assuming it's our next board meeting, where can this be found, this information?
It will be on our website.
Okay.
We will post a link to the proposed changes up on our website after the public hearing is noticed. So.
Does it have to be published like in a newspaper too?
No, legal has advised that the notification for the public hearing does not have to provide all of the proposed fee changes, just has to direct the public to where they can find those.
Okay, so there will be a notice in the paper that
Yes,
says
there will be
we're
notice about the
considering a
public
fee
hearing,
change.
and that I guess directions to our website, or they can also contact the district office to get hard copies if they do not have internet access.
Okay. One other question. When the board votes on this in November, does everybody who votes on this have to be in person? Is this considered a budgetary or fee thing as per?
I believe.
Okay,
Yes,
that'd be good for people to know.
But I believe this would fall under the category of have to be in the room to vote on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on this item? Being none, we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a CAC report from our Citizens Advisory Committee and Mr. Winia.
Hello again, Joseph Winia here, now for the CAC. As you see, we don't have a written report because we didn't actually hold our meeting last month. We didn't have any new business. And since then... Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I knew you had.
You knew I had to go. We don't have any more votes, right?
Nope.
So,
All
okay.
action items have been heard.
I didn't know Julie also had to go, but
Yeah, I was unaware of that. So.
thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Winia. So can we continue this meeting?
No.
For realsies?
No, I mean, my understanding from previous discussions with legal that receiving information is considered official action by a governing body. And,
Yeah, I think you're right.
so,
Well, I'm very sorry, Mr. Winia and everybody else. We can, if individual board members have questions on the CAC or the department reports, we can send those via email.
yes.
So we're adjourned.